What's up, everyone? So, you've seen enough videos out there about Gisnak, Vermin Lord, the Rat King, and how versatile, where he can be used, how he can be used, the amazement of this skill. Basically, every time a bomb is placed and detonates or is removed, it turns it into a protected poison for 2 turns, and you place 2 poisons. So the more bombs that you can get out there by this champion, so counterattacking, reflex set, relentless sets, revenge accessories, whatever the case is, the more this champ can hit and get the bombs out, the more poisons will be out. And either way, this champ is doing damage on skills. So we already know how amazing this champ is. However, what about the 4 epics that we are fusing with them? So the first one is Indalia. What does she do? So stat wise, looks like so all skills based on HP. We have a 50% chance to provoke 1 turn, 50% chance. Okay for Hydra, but that's really it. Second, we have an all AoE decrease attack. Again, pretty okay for Hydra. 100% chance on a 3-turn cooldown. Okay. And then this skill, the passive. So when there is a decrease attack out, so think all 4 heads have decrease attack on Hydra. This champ counterattacks with provoke, which only really works on the one head that cleanses, but will counterattack. Unbooked, it's 3-turn cooldown, but when booked, it's every single time this champion gets hit. Virtually all the heads give some kind of AoE attack, which means she's constantly counterattacking every single time she gets hit. Pretty cool mechanic. I wouldn't say she's worth keeping over the Rat King. The next one we have is Aishima, however you say it. 20 booked up to 30% chance to poison. Double hitter. Each hit has that chance to poison. I would still argue there are better poisoners out there. Scabrius, Fane, sorry. Even a Cult Brawler. Cult Brawler hits like a truck as well. Okay, Poisoner. AoE attack places a weaken for 100, or chance to put weaken on for 100% chance. This is something Scabrius does, but Fane does, but not Occult Brawler. So, okay, pretty good on a 3-turn cooldown. Here, single target, 100% chance to decrease all enemies' buffs, and then increase the duration of all enemy debuffs as well. You have champs that can increase your buffs. You have champs that can decrease your debuffs. You have champs that can increase their debuffs or decrease their buffs, whatever the case is. First person comes to mind would be, Arbiter. Everyone can get Arbiter. Arbiter's free, has that chance to decrease the buff by 1 turn. You have somebody like in Night Revs as well, Thylesia, who increases all the debuffs on them by 1 turn. This one also decreases the buffs by a turn. So you're also putting that weaken out as well. So this champion, I mean, you're trading Hex for weaken in Thylesia. You're decreasing those buffs as well. Could come in handy if that's a champ that you need. Weak on the poisons, so where else are you going to use? And then heals based on 3% of this champ's HP whenever an enemy receives damage from poison. So there's a self heal here. It's any poison, so pairs well with any other poisoner that's a higher percent chance. But it's only 3% and she's attack based and her health is quite low. So, mediocre at best. Okay, I'm sure she might find a niche place, but mediocre. Third, and now we're getting into the better of the two, we have Meringue. Bronze Lock. So definitely full of bronze. Almost looks like Trunda's sister, her little sister here. But what does this one do? Double hitter, ignores shield, which is great. Defense-based champion. Okay, deep defense at 1300. But ignore shield. Most champions nowadays, especially in the arena, have shield buffs. So an A1, double hitter, ignores a shield. Pretty cool. Second, we place a Strengthen on all allies with an AoE attack on a 3-turn cooldown. Okay. Strengthen, you're starting to see more and more of. However, this is where it gets interesting. Meringue also has a 4-turn cooldown, teams up with, so her and 2 random allies attack a single target. Everyone uses their default skills. In this case, it's a double hitter. 2 random. I mean, we have better champions that do everybody or 4 or everyone, but right. So not as good, but for Dwarf Faction Wars, very good. And while under a Strengthen, and she places a Strengthen for 2 turns. So while on that Strengthen, counterattacks. As long as she places the Strengthen on herself, she will counterattack. Same with the other champion. So these are very counterattacking based champions. Okay, and again, so if anybody is killed, so we got 3 people attacking 1 person, if that person is killed, she gets another turn. So this becomes a 3-turn cooldown on this AoE attack, and then we can move into placing that Strengthen on ourselves, and then we're going to counterattack every time we get hit. So again, a pretty cool champ, and going to be hard to kill with decent HP and high defense. Our last champion, probably one of the better of the 4, is Tagore. So Tagore is a support champion, damage based on attack at 1100, decent HP. So A1, double hitter again, will place an increased defense for 2 turns on whoever has the lowest HP. Okay. Attacks on all enemies, will place a speed on all allies for 2 turns, then heals based on this champ's max HP. So the more HP this champion has, which is a support, you don't want to build them attack. You want to build them HP based and keep them alive. Will put that speed on and a 15% heal. You can book it with an extra 10% times 2 here to get an increased percentage of heal. And then we also have revive all allies with 30% HP. So we're going to revive them all, bring up that 30% HP, places a shield on them for 2 turns equal to 20% of this champ's max HP. So let's say this champ has 100,000 HP. Going to be very difficult to kill this champion. We're going to revive them with 30% of their HP, but then put a 20,000 shield on top of that. Okay? So by default, they're already going to have, at least 25, 30, 40,000 protection on that. Move into this A3, which is then going to heal another 15,000 HP on everybody. So a very good champion for Doom Tower or any of the other dungeons. This champ is a way to go with a backup reviver on a 5-turn cooldown. And then finally decreases the damage received by all allies with 50% HP or less by 10%. So if we're low HP, we're automatically going to be taking 10% less damage we are taking. Sorry. But are the 4 champions worth it? The way I see it, these are epics. The likelihood of you getting one of these 4 epics during a summon rush, during a champ chase, while you're pulling shards, is a lot more likely than you pulling the Rat King at some point in your career. So my recommendation would be not to keep the epics, but to fuse for the Rat King, because he's that good. Although the rares are good, if you're don't have the resources to push, and this is what I said in the last video, then at least get the epics. Because Indala, Morang, and Trombor are probably the best 3 of the 4, and will help your accounts if you're a newer player or a mid game player who can't get Vermlord. However, if you're mid game or early game and you're able to get Vermin Lord, good, like you're gonna skyrocket. It's gonna be amazing. So at this point, sorry for this, my sound decided to cut out. If you're gonna go for him, good luck. Plan ahead. Watch the last video. Hopefully that helps, and we'll catch y'all in the next video. Take care, everyone.